These 7 habits have made me into a multi-millionaire. My name is Shoaib Ghauri, on 3 trading floors, 2 in London, 1 on Wall Street. I've dedicated the last 10 years of my life to trading. Now this first habit was crucial to my success. That was fasting. Now I used to eat breakfast in the morning, not by 7 AM. By 12 PM I used to get very tired and hungry. By 5 PM I wanted to go home and have a nap. As a result, this was not efficient to run businesses or make a lot of money. When I stopped eating, what happened? All my energy levels that were used for digesting my breakfast, now I can use this for my mind. Yes, at the beginning you can't concentrate when you're hungry, but this is a habit that you have to build. Now you may have heard of breakfast being the most important meal of the day, but do you really believe that? I believe this is a propaganda. You saw breakfast cereals, your breakfast bars, etc. Now when you actually eat in the morning, you're spending all that energy digesting your food, and trust me, you don't want to do that. So fasting can play a big part in your lifestyle. Now what this boils down to is to have a killer instinct, survival mode. When they're in the survival mode, trust me, you will hunt. Now cavemen, when they used to go out on empty stomachs, they know if they don't provide for their family, their kids, what happens? They die, and they don't want that. To raise a family, you must go and hunt. This is exactly what you want to do. Eat at the end of your day once, let's say, all your productivity aspects or your money making aspects are done. Now if you're trying to build a business or going on a venture, this habit is very important, and that is of having a very clear vision. Now hear me out, your vision must have a sub finish line and not a finish line. Now what I mean by this is, if you have a sub finish line, once you achieve that goal, the other goal at the end is unlimited, so you can literally aim for the moon. Now let's say you open up a business, and by doing so your goal or your finish line is 1 million. What happens when you hit your million? You achieve your goal, correct? So it's very important to have that goal as a sub goal, and the finish line must be open. Now I have met a lot of influential people, a lot of famous people, and the same thing applies for them. Now what I've seen, they've got their 10 million subscribers, etc. However, because they've hit the target, they got all the supercars, the houses, etc. They don't know what they're doing now, and this can lead to depression. So always have an open-minded but open vision towards your goal. Now this next habit has really allowed me to scale through millions, and that is preserving my wealth or managing my money. If you can't manage £1,000, you won't be able to manage 10k, 20k or 30k. Now some people may not know this. I used to work in Ghauri's PC world. My wage was £1,000 per month. Now I used to save a large chunk of this, and as a result I only used to spend on, let's say, petrol, insurance and phone contracts. Now this is what allowed me to commute to work and back. At that point of time, that's all I needed. I didn't buy fancy clothes, no fancy restaurants, nothing. So that preservation of wealth was key to my growth. Now all the money that I saved I could spend in investments or anything else, or let's say business ideas that will allow me to grow. Now the same concept applies today. I can make 10k, 20k, 30k or even 100k a month, and as a result I can still save a large chunk, minimum of 70% if not more. And all that money that I've saved is preservation of wealth, and as a result I can, let's say, grow my businesses or myself effectively because I'm very liquid. Now this is my favorite habit, traveling. Now when I travel, I get to meet new people, different cultures, different scenery, and as a result my vision just gets bigger. Now as I'm staying in London, I found people can be very narrow-minded, or you staying in one place can be very captive, so your vision does not grow. Now when I travel into different places, the people are very different, even the economies are different, and you can find many gaps in the market for business to make a lot more money. So travel and make this your habit, and you get very far in life. No one really got rich by saving. So the habit that you must have is to invest back into yourself or your business. Now this investment that I made, you may think I'm a prick, and that is buying a supercar. Now number 1, it opened more doors for me. Number 2, it got me into places that had money. Number 3, I met like-minded individuals with similar supercars. And number 4, my network just got bigger. As a result, it all paid off. Now to top it up, if you buy a supercar at a good price or at a good time, you can still preserve your wealth with the money, or you can sell it for profit or slightly bit of a loss. Now, if you want to be successful in the future, learn to adapt. Now, I found not listening to the older generation, following the biggest people in my generation, and looking at the new generation was the key to my success. Now, when I've started taking advice from the older generation, they were very close-minded, mainly 9 to 5, have a career in this and that. And as a result, I know that would not allow me to make my millions. Now, by doing so, I left all the bad bits and I took some decent advice that I could relate to. Now, in my generation, you will see many people, but I look at the top 1% of my age group. As a result, this allowed me to understand if they can achieve it, I can achieve it also. At the end of the day, we are all humans and we all bleed the same blood. Now, looking at the new generation, the Gen Z, I have found their attention span is very small, they love TikTok, and they want to get rich fast. Now, the new generation is the future, so it only makes sense to follow their vision. Because if you can provide what they want, this is where the money is. Now, this last habit is all about doing the opposite. Now, if someone's not successful, if you do the opposite, you become successful. And as a result, you need to really understand this. 99% of people fail, so just do the opposite. Opposite is a very beautiful habit to have. Now, most people spend their paycheck on booze, on designer clothes, on expensive food, etc. So if you do the opposite and not do them things, you can still preserve your wealth and have that money safely there for you to ready to invest. In addition to that, for every poor person, there must be a rich person, as above, as below.